You talk to, I've talked to a number of different CEOs who've very clearly expressed that their biggest headache in life is with their HR departments.
Yeah.
They're trying to like, what in the world are we doing here? That's what, we started this by saying like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
What you just outlined is exactly how we got here. So much of this has been happening already, for decades in some of these incredibly, I don't even know what you call them, in a lot of the universities. And then you start seeing it, okay, well, here's the boundary today. Okay, cool, got that. We're going to shift it. We're going to shift the goalpost. Okay, cool, got that. We're going to shift the goalpost. We're going to shift the goalpost.
It never ends.
It doesn't.
It never ends.
And that's where the thing that people warned against in the past, but it's hard to imagine that it would be possible, certainly within our lifetimes, the normalization of pedophilia.
Yes.
What you said, the minor attracted persons, and don't stigmatize that. We're all people. We should all be allowed to celebrate ourselves and all this other crap. We're talking about kids.
Yeah.
And how a lot of these same people who are saying, hey, if you refuse to use pronouns, you're fired. A friend of mine in a huge New York law firm, corporate policy is you have to put your pronouns in your email signature block or you will have to talk to the HR department. And he's like one of the partners at this law firm. He's like, this is bullshit.
Now, why do they make that distinction? Why? What kind of pressure forced them into having something as crazy as like you have to have your pronouns?
I don't know. I think that it's driven by fear.
But what
all of this is driven
percentage
by
of
fear.
the people are having a problem identifying someone without pronouns?
Yeah.
Like how many people are we talking about?
I would imagine it's a very small number.
It's a very small number. It just the number of people that identify as trans is higher than it's ever been before, which is really weird. That's not consistent. And you could say, well, it's because they feel comfortable doing that because it's an accepted part of society. Like maybe. But according to Abigail Shrier, who wrote that book, Irreversible Damage, with young girls, it's up an extraordinary amount, like a preposterous amount, where they have these clusters of girls who identify as trans in school where you get like 8, 9 kids that just all in a friend group identify as trans. And she's like, there's a very distinct possibility that this is a social contagion, and that there are, and without the denying that some people are trans, because there are, but it's like, how do you know now? Because this is one of those incredibly bizarre human issues where it's open to interpretation. Like this guy or woman, whatever, with the giant rubber boobs can just say that they are a woman, and everyone has to back off because of that. Because of a lack of an ability to prove something, now you're in this area where it's open to how someone feels.
Exactly.
And that you could just decide, well, that's how you get male prisoners who go into female prisons and impregnate inmates.
Exactly.
Which is so crazy. That's how you get male athletes who want to compete in women's sports, and when the women complain, they get kicked off the team.
Exactly.
And forced out of the locker room, which we're seeing.
Yep.
Which is nuts because it's just how you feel.
Yep.